Welcome back to another edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we go down all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. A big shout out to the t-shirt today. You can probably just see the corner of it. This is the special edition piece that we put together for the 2024 Arnold Sports Festival. We had the first ever stacked pavilion. I will give a shout out to that, as I want to just lead into maybe a brief update on the Stacked Pavilion for the 2025 Arnold Sports Festival. If you haven't organized trips, if you haven't thought about it, I would suggest doing so. I've seen a lot of the floor plan, a lot of the brands that'll be showing up, and if this year was anything to go by, which I think since 2022, when it was gradually coming back, 23 was a big boost, 24 was what I like to call, when people ask me, I referenced it to be similar to the 2016 Arnold, like around that time where the lobby was just pumping, you couldn't get a seat at the bar at any point. Like, that is my reflection of just how busy it was. So if that is anything to go by, 25 is going to blow the shit out of the water because it's going to be huge. We work obviously to bring brands to the show. We obviously have the Stack Pavilion, but we're also working to bring other brands to the event just to make sure that they get best communication. While the Stack Pavilion is suited for pretty much every brand possible, some brands that want to go slightly bigger will need to get a separate space. The Stack Pavilion limits brands to 10 by 30 at most, also 10 feet tall in terms of booth space, and that's just purely because we want everyone in there to be equal, balanced, not too kind of outshining each other. But yeah, as a quick update, the Stack Pavilion is 50% full right now. If I'm calculation, 50%, I think, give or take around there. A lot of brands returning, a lot of new ones, I will say that. A lot of return, a lot of new ones. It's filling up fast, and we designed it to go slightly bigger. I think we're shooting for 50% bigger. If we hit that, I'll be very happy, but it is going to be something you don't want to miss if you are a consumer. Book your tickets, get your hotel done now, as it's going to be notoriously difficult the closer you get. Alternatively, we are going to, you can reach out if you're a brand, if you want to take part, if you want to exhibit, you want to visit, you just want to do something else maybe, feel free to reach out to me. We're your one-stop shop for everything regarding that. And I will note that if you haven't booked your ticket or if you haven't organized things, we were debating here, but I think I'm just going to go ahead with it anyway. We are going to give away some sort of a trip. I'll say that for now. In fact, you know what? I'll go ahead and say it. We're giving an all-expenses paid trip to the Arnold. We haven't really outlined whether it's going to be like you and a friend or whatever. We're doing that. That's going to be the key attraction at this year's Stacked Expo, the online expo on September 16th. Which, if you haven't signed up for that, or if you're a brand, if you haven't want to take part, if you're a consumer or a fan, you don't need to sign up for shit. You just go on the day, stackedexpo.com on September 16th, and that whole week it will be live. So, I think that wraps it up for about the admin side. Again, another shout out to the shirt. We will be doing a different one for the 2025 Arnold Sports Festival and our trophies for the Expo Awards that we'll be holding. We're working on those right now too. They're going to be a step up. Everything's going to be a step up. So make sure that you're locked and loaded and ready for the event. Now, getting on to the core attraction of the Stack Supplement Podcast, we're going to kick things off with the news in the supplement industry has been relatively, I wouldn't say mild. It's not as jam-packed. We would get two big news announcements a day, one after another. We're still getting some pretty substantial ones, but usually it's been on the moderate side, and I say moderate as it's still incredibly fast-paced, but it's been on the moderate side about a few weeks, about a month or two right now. So expect to see just a boatload of innovation coming, and a lot of what I've heard from brands, the last part of the year is going to be ridiculously large. It always is. So we're going to kick this episode off with a bit of a teaser / hype. Chaos and Pain announced that it's launching 2 muscle building supplements. One's called CST-1, the other's called CST-1 IGF. Now, if anyone else said that, like we mentioned this in the post on the website, if anyone else said what these guys said about these things, you would think, okay, whatever, talk out your ass. A lot of the time brands do, but this is coming from Chaos and Pain. So basically those 2 supplements, they haven't had their formulas revealed yet, nor have they even become available. That is quite interesting because typically Chaos and Pain puts everything out to show, makes it available as soon as it's mentioned. It's their strategy that most people take. This time around, they've put word out that they've got these products coming. And they haven't really said anything about what's in them. They've just said you're going to want to pay attention to these if you're a muscle building fan. Now, the big quote that they've said is that the Chaos and Pain says that after these two drop, nothing will ever be the same. Now, that is hit or miss. Take what did you what you will. This is from Chaos and Pain. They do know how to make supplements. They have a known reputation in muscle builders, testosterone boosters, an even more intense reputation in stimulant products like fat burners and pre-workouts. So I would be mindful of what these are going to be. They should definitely be something impressive. Again, I have zero idea what's in them. The post was only that CST1, CST1 IGF are going to be muscle builders and that they're going to be something to watch out for. So much so that Chaos and Pain promises that nothing will ever be the same and that they have taken the effort to reveal them before even showing off their formulas or even making them available for purchase. So two big nods there. They may indeed be talking up their game. It's not the first time that a quality brand, or I guess a reputable known brand in sports nutrition, has spiced things up just for one or two launches and use their reputation to build some flow. This may be the case here, this may not. Pay attention though. The formulas will be out this week. The supplements as well I think are launching this week, and we'll have them up on the site as well as social. So keep an eye out. Purely just keep an eye out. These are very promising, but in the same breath, Chaos and Pain wasn't the only one that decided to make some bold claims in the world of muscle building. I will touch on the point though that whenever we say muscle building at Stacked, keep in mind that is an all-encompassing reference. So I say muscle builders, we all say muscle builders. That can be a creatine, that can be a testosterone booster, that can be a natural anabolic supplement. That is just generally the overall arching description that we use. And that kind of ropes in a lot of specialized categories. I guess it would be no different from saying, hey, this is a weight loss supplement. And that category can actually be segmented out. You can get a appetite product that's just dedicated to appetite. You could get a thermogenic that doesn't have any stimulants. You could get a metabolism booster. You could get, there's a whole bunch of different things that what I'm saying is that muscle builders can branch out into a whole host of different categories like testosterone, anabolics, and so on. So that's just the overarching reference we use to that kind of thing. But yes, so Chaos and Pain isn't the only one that's been talking up something this week. Man Sports also came to the table saying that its next product, which is Homodex is the name, is going to be the most comprehensive test booster out there. They shorten the sentence, but they're very much the overarching message was that this is going to be the most complete testosterone booster you're ever going to get. Again, Man Sports, very much like Chaos and Pain, knows how to put together a supplement, has a good reputation behind it. So I would like to think they're not just fluffing your shit. I mean, if you know what I'm saying, I'd like to think they're not just talking a big game. Man Sports and Chaos and Pain both know how to make some solid supplements. And Man Sports coming out and saying that it's going to be the most comprehensive test booster based on the muscle builders that it's had in the past. It's had many, I think we rattled them off on the site. Here we go. Novogerm Pro PF3, EquiTurk Pro, Delta XT. Those are just some of the few it's had throughout the years in terms of muscle building. So Tomodex is described as the most comprehensive testosterone booster. Just that's what, in short, out there basically. You can add whatever attachment you want to it. So based on what it's done, this is going to be another one to keep an eye out for. As far as I know, Chaos and Pains 2 are coming up this week, revealed with formulas and whatnot. Tomodex, I have no clue whatsoever. There was just a little drip feed of a preview out there. It may be dropping sooner rather than later. We don't actually know for certain right now, but as it stands, that is the current situation. So yeah, keep an eye out. Obviously share more details on the website when we have them, as we continue to do every day of the week. But for now, that is what we got on those two specific supplements. Right from there, we're going to jump over to another reputable powerhouse brand that is none other than Performance Labs. So a few months back, you may remember, actually about a year ago, around thereabouts, they launched a supplement called Hypermaxed Out. Now this was basically Performax's take on the premium pre-workout category. In short, a premium pre-workout is something that you spend more to get more. If you pay $30 for your pre-workout, a brand comes out with a premium one at $45, you get $15 of extra good stuff beyond what you would pay at the $30 pre-workout. That can be applied to multiple brands. Maybe a brand's average pre is 50, premium might be 65, 70. Take it as what you will. But that is generally the pre-workout category, or subcategory as we like to call it. And Performax Labs approached it last year with Hypermaxed out, a spin-off or a more advanced version of their powerhouse original pre-workout, Hypermax. Now, that was originally intended to be a limited launch. It wasn't meant to stick around. It proved so successful, however, that earlier this year, they decided to announce that it's going to be permanent. This thing is not going anywhere. It is going to be a staple, ongoing supplement in the Performax family, and then put it back out onto market. Same two flavors, same powerhouse formula, quality, very worthwhile price, especially when it was relaunched. I believe it was a damn good deal. Now they're adding a flavor. In short, if you like the pre-workouts that we like you like the top list that we have on our site, Hypermax is the best out there. For me, the terms of balance, the energy, stims component, the pumps you get going with it, the performance drive that's in it. I hate to say it, but second to none type thing. It just that balance fits our preference perfectly. Everyone's different. Some people like less pump, more energy. Some people like more performance, no energy. Whatever it may be, that is our balance that we prefer in Hypermaxed out. And they've really brought their A game in that, and it is a damn good supplement. So extremely pleased they decided to make it a permanent product. And now they've added a new flavor. It is called, I better just check what the exact name is, because I believe we spelled it wrong on the post originally, but it is called, there we go, Blue Shark Splash. It is inspired by the traditional blue gummy shark candy. And yeah, third flavor, I believe it goes alongside the original pair of Tiger's Blood and Dragon Fruit Mango. And this one promises to be, I think, on par, if not better than the first two. And if you're a fan of high-powered pre-workouts, keep in mind this obviously isn't going to taste like a $20, 3-ingredient blend. This is a powerhouse beast, and for me, I don't really notice, throw it down, whatever. So the taste being a little bit better is much appreciated, because when you get to these products that have just shitload of ingredients that cannot taste amazing, but it's more than worth the experience that you get in the gym, it's appreciated they put that effort in and even added another flavor to the menu, to a product that they only just made permanent not that long ago. Next up, we're going to jump to, I'm going to finish with 3 stories we've got right in front of us, and this is going to take us to Muscle Meds, the long-running brand known for its carnivore protein powder, incredibly well marketed and pioneered in the beginning with, again, the carnivore beef-based protein powder. Back when they had Kai Green as their star athlete, that carnivore has just become a part of Muscle Meds altogether. It's very similar to, I guess, Nitrotech from Muscle Tech, C4 from Cellucor. Muscle Meds is just synonymous with carnivore and beef protein, and they have not made that, they've made that very clear. They've been pushing whole different types of carnivore supplements throughout the years, different versions, like a drink. Now they've done something that I definitely didn't think was going to be done. They basically said they're coming out with a hydration beverage or a sports drink. Saw the picture, didn't think much of it, and I think when we started to write the post, and you'll notice this when we write a lot of the things, is that we don't look at it and study it too much. A lot of it is written as we go, like, oh wow, this is in here, holy shit, this is pretty good. So I didn't entirely know what they were doing outside of a sports drink. As we wrote the post, we discovered this isn't just any sports drink. So what Muscle Meds has done is created what's called the protein hydration, the carnivore protein hydration drink. Now, they do have a carnivore protein RTD on the market. They have so for quite some time. Very similar to the protein powder. It is beef-based protein, incredibly lean, packing plenty of protein, low minimum carbs and fat, lean calories. Now, protein hydration is very much that carnivore RTD combined with hydration. We've seen a lot of sports drinks surface. I think Inspired is one of the most complex and interesting, where they mixed in anti-aging, and that was to be expected when you have all these sports drinks and now sports nutrition brands doing hydration beverages. You almost always are guaranteed to get a bit of complexity, typical to what sports nutrition brands do to almost every category they touch. This one is interesting. So carnivore protein hydration, yeah, it packs 30 grams of protein, beef-based protein, 0 sugar, I believe is 0 fat, minimal carbs, and then they've basically combined that with a nice dose of electrolytes. The blend isn't too bad either. You get, breaks down to 390 sodium, 42 magnesium, 250 potassium, and 65 calcium. I don't have the total written down in front of me, but that comes out at a suspected, I think, was at 500, about 750 in and around total electrolytes. And again, you can't really say much more. They've done what the name says. Carnivore protein hydration is indeed a carnivore protein RTD with hydration infused. It's very interesting, I hadn't seen it before. I've seen obviously protein drinks, you've seen hydration drinks. Hadn't seen the two together. I definitely haven't seen anyone combine beef protein. To be honest, I probably haven't seen a beef protein RTD that actually combines anything other than beef protein. It's a very interesting supplement, very unique approach, and to be honest, very fitting for the brand. Muscle Meds, again, is synonymous with carnivore. Carnivore is synonymous with beef protein. It makes sense that they give it this little twist, and I can't help but appreciate it. Again, when you get growth in categories and the sports nutrition brands start to take notice, they bring their flair to it. And I can guarantee you, if this was a category that sports nutrition didn't have interest in, you probably would never have gotten a hydration drink or a sports drink with beef protein in the mix. You can check that out on the site. It comes in 2 flavors, Berry Blast and a Bomb Pop inspired Rocket Pop. Next up, we're going to shoot to RYSE, who turned a bit of a mistake into an event, and I can't help but appreciate it. So they were going to launch their clear protein powder. They announced the date. It was the 1st of August, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it's the 1st of August. There's 3 flavors available for it: strawberry, banana, Kool-Aid grape, and then 2 Jello flavors. Jello, Kool-Aid, no, sorry, Jello black cherry, Jello berry blue. Now, those did go live on August 1st. However, they didn't explain how or why. They just said that there was a production issue and the thing foamed up. The thing foams. And that is one catch with clear protein, is that it does foam like crazy, especially some of the ones that have been put together without any care. So what I mean by foaming is you put some water in your shaker, you shake it up, drink it, whatever. That's traditional protein powders. Even plant-based proteins, you can do that as well. Sometimes when they're inclusions, you don't really want it to wait to set because it all falls to the bottom, which is also a nice treat at the end. Either way, clear proteins have a problem or an issue where you shake them up, very similar to amino acids. So not too surprising, I guess. When you used to shake up amino acids or BCA products, they would foam up quite a bit. Clear protein is that jacked up quite a bit. So you'd shake it up and your foam might hit the goddamn top of the shake, even if you filled it up halfway. So you just have to kind of sit there and wait unless you want to drink the foam. And I mean, it's not a bad thing. Now, RYSE promised to minimum foam, reasonable foam. I don't know. They were basically making it sound like they had pretty good, the foaming issue taken care of. But whatever happened, the end result of the product that they had on August 1st, the foam wasn't to satisfaction. They felt that it foamed too much. Again, this isn't compared to anything. So if anyone tries the one that launched, you're not going to know if it was more foamy or less foamy because we haven't tried the one that I guess they feel proud of. You will do soon though. Now, the extra foaming, they actually then launched at GNC. I believe they said they had something like 5,000 units. They gave them to GNC and they put it at clearance and they turned it into what they called a foam party. And I thought it was fantastic. Like, say what you want, like if you dislike it. They could have done many things. They could have launched this and not said a word. They could have made this available and been like, hey, here's our nuclear protein. It's a bit foamy, like whatever. We'll correct it on the next run. They could have just dumped it, but they turned basically a mistake into an opportunity and turned it into a sale. More importantly, they didn't just leave you hanging. Like, they appreciate that you supported their mistake and they half the price of the supplement. So instead of $45, it was $22.50 per tub. Now it is very rare that you get a killer deal on big supplements, especially protein powder, and you don't get anywhere near the 50% mark. So they halved this thing to $22.50. And in addition to that, there was a buy 2 get 1 free deal on, I think it was top brands, and that included RYSE and that included the clear protein. So instead of paying $22.50, if you grab 2 tubs at $45, get a third one thrown in, you're looking at 3 tubs for $45, that's $15 each. There's a damn good deal. Like, who gives a shit if it foams? It's not that it's expired, it just foams. We buy our protein on a regular basis. We make sure we get a good deal when you buy large amounts. I mean, $15 for a tub, like, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. Each to their own, but and you got to try the even if the foaming was an issue, the flavor would have been on point. So yeah, those I believe have gone now. I'm not sure if they're still there, but at $15 a tub, it's, again, just a big applause to RYSE, again, for turning a situation that could have been like, put it out there, oh my God, bad reviews or whatever, or they just burn it all and lose how many, 5,000 units, God knows what that equates to in money. It's, kudos to them for turning it around, and then not just turning it around and making it a deal, being honest and upfront, just saying, hey, this is going to foam like crazy. Again, hats off to them for doing that. It was pretty fun. And I think they're all sold out, but you can read that full story on the site. The last post we have, as you can see over there, yes, is Feral Supplement. Now, this is a brand new company. Now, so it's Feral Supplements is from the Tren Twins, the hugely famous, widely popular influencers, bodybuilders, fitness, whatever you want to call them. Massive followings on Instagram and YouTube. They've come out with their own brand called Feral Supplements, and I have to give it up to them. It's pretty damn good. The formulas are damn good, and so they have 4 supplements in total. 2 of them are very straightforward. There's very little you can do in these areas. That it would be cream of rice and protein powder. Now, what do you do different with them? The problem with protein powder and doing it differently is that it raises the price. And as I just said, when I buy a protein powder, I'm looking for a good price. I'm looking for it to be exactly that, a powder, protein, an alternative, efficient, cost-effective source of protein to supplement my diet with extra protein. I don't really want to add a little bit of extra flair here and there. I'll get some cool quality sources like Isolate, or even some of those more premium ones like IOA, but I'm not going to pay for the extra ingredients. So it gives you a little wiggle room to do anything different. Same goes for cream of rice. It's a carbohydrate source, quality clean source. There are a few brands that have done things a little bit differently with that and spiced up digestion and gut health along the way. But again, it's also a space that's not too opportunistic, if that's a great fit. And so in the Feral Supplements line, they are what they are. It's an isolate-based protein powder. I believe is it grass-fed? I think it might be. Or maybe not. It's either way. I think it is just regular whey isolate. And then with cream of rice, it's just cream of rice. So those 2 are what they are. The other 2 supplements are where Feral Supplements got my attention. As again, the Tren Twins, generally when influencers or brand people come out with brands, don't expect much. And it's not a knock on them. It's just historically, people or influencers or names that have come out with supplements are trying to cash in on their name. And so they tend to not care, or there's just been a lot of events in the past where that's been the case. Brands that would just put dick all in their products, and it was very clear, oh cool, it's a supplement brand from this person, so we should buy it, overlooking what's in there. And I would say it wasn't a massive amount of times. It's just it takes a lot of times to see that, to be to expect it, right? You fail so much as a certain exercise, a certain weight, you have that in the back of your mind when you go and try it again. And so Feral Supplements, though, kind of just put that all to the wind. Their pre-workouts are packed to shit. And that's not even a statement when I would say considering they're a newcomer, that's pretty good. I'm saying they're just damn good formulas overall. So I'll rattle off their pre-workout. We put both of them on the website when we posted about this. This is the stimulant product. Now keep in mind, this is the stimulant supplement. There are more components to it, but they have 2. They have, I believe it's just called Feral Stim. Feral Stim and Feral Pump, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you can use them together, but holy shit. So the Feral Stim, you get 4 grams of beta-alanine, so a touch more than 3.2 for performance. But then in addition to that, for even more performance, there's 2 grams of taurine, 150 Elevate TP, and 50 milligrams of one of my favorites in Synactive. Then, backing up that name, Feral Stim, you have all of those stimulant sensory components, and that list goes as Trigger 2, uridine, caffeine anhydrous, theobromine, dynamine, infinity, huperzine A. Did I say infinity? Yes, infinity. So caffeine citrate and GBB. I was surprised to see GBB go on there, GBB, the thermogenic, just because if I buy a pre-workout, I want it to all be for the purpose of pre-workout. So if GBB is a thermogenic, it's a sweat enhancing supplement. I don't it definitely wouldn't prevent me from buying it, but an interesting inclusion nonetheless. And then estrogen to improve uptake and absorption. And it's, again, and those doses of each of those components, so the caffeine, if I'm not mistaken, sits at just over 400 milligrams. And then don't forget you've got dynamine in there as well, uridine, a very rare but effective nootropic. It's a solid supplement. And now the price on that isn't too bad. So I believe it's at, I can't remember the exact cost. I thought it was in the 40s or something. Now, pump on the other hand, so traditionally stim pre is 45, 50, give or take, and then the pump is the same or lower. In this case, Feral Supplements juice the shit out of their stimulant-free pre-workout to the extent that, yeah, you could buy this on your own and not be disappointed, but you can use it with Feral Stim if you so dare. Now, the formula on this one, there's not much crossover as well, so I do appreciate that they left room. So they stacked both of them, stacked the pump, I would say arguably more, but they still didn't cross over that much. That's one of the big issues when you get huge dosages in different supplements, is that brands sometimes run out of ingredients and then end up overlapping over the top, overlapping from product to product. Now in a Feral Pump, you have 10 grams of citrulline, 5 grams of betaine, 2 grams of taurine, a gram of tyrosine for some focus, and then there is 20 milligrams of citrapeak and 4 grams of combined NO3T nitrates. That's split between 2 betaine nitrate and 2 arginine nitrates. So keep in mind, there's already 5 grams of betaine in there. In the stim, you also get, there's no betaine, so there's no crossover there, but 5 grams of betaine nitrate in 5 grams of betaine anhydrous, my bad, mixed up of words. Then there's 2 grams of betaine nitrate. Now there is betaine in there, so you're looking, I can't remember the exact breakdown, might work out to 6 grams of betaine. So that's a substantial amount. And then on top of all of this, they have a hydration catalyst section. So a nice addition, because whereas this has all about pumps, touch of focus, and a hydration side, Feral Stim is energy focused performance with the synactive LF-ATP and beta-alanine. Now on that side, you've got a nice dose of electrolytes, citric acid, dextrose, and Covaco branded coconut water, plus another hit of estrogen to further ramp up absorption and efficacy. Now that 10 grams of citrulline with 4 grams of nitrates, you can count on one hand, maybe two, the amount of brands that top 4 grams of NO3T nitrates. It's very rare to see them up that high combined. Usually it's 2 to 3 is the norm. There are a few that go above the 4. I think Naughty Boy's done it, Apollo's done it. There are a couple of them out there, but for a newcomer who hasn't, this isn't a reformulation, this isn't a sequel, this isn't an improvement, that's damn good. And I gotta applaud them. And for the whole brand, like again, very interesting to see them do a cream of rice and a protein powder, then 2 pre-workouts and loaded pre-workouts right out of the gate. Big applause to Tren Twins and Feral Supplements, and you can check them out on the site. We got the full breakdown, but for this episode, that is it. We ran a little bit long, but that is what it is. For this episode, that is it. All we ask for you to support the Stack platform and everything we do is just visit the website 50,000 times a day. That would be nice, multiple times a day, as many times as you can to get the information. In all seriousness, share with your mom, your dad, brother, sister, friends, and family. And I look forward to having you back next time.